Personally, take this campaign is places like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I feel like the best place to collect and gather this data would be these places because YouTube has this thing called, or the YouTubers, they put these polls online for all their subscribers to see, and there they can like pick different options. Here's an example of what one is like, and I feel like we can ask questions about offshore oil drilling, and if the people know what offshore oil drilling is, I feel like if we were to extend to these YouTubers and potentially ask them to, if we could use their platform to post these polls, that would be a really good way to gather data. Depending on which on the YouTuber that has more subscribers, that way we can get the most data back. Instagram has plenty of reels you can view where you can post about offshore oil drilling and how it's damaging the environment in the ocean. Twitter is another good one because who doesn't use Twitter nowadays in this modern day? Twitter, we can put hashtags, we can spread the message as much as possible as fast. And the more people obviously that get into this hashtag, the more it will continue on to influence. And that's the big thing about social media. As soon as it becomes influential, it will become common knowledge. And that's the goal of AFO. It's to gain more knowledge to the people about what is going on with these oil rigs in the ocean. Now, lastly, lastly, I wanted to tie this into some theories. The theories I wanted to talk about were social information processing theory. Social information processing theory is all about the web and how communication goes through online. I think this is perfect for this particular movement and slash campaign because AFO is going to be particularly taking place online, and how we're going to our main message we want to get to the people is that oil rigging is hurting the environment. And I feel like through the social information processing theory, it's going to reach the most possible people through this theory. Moving on, social judgment theory is going to be is going to really take effect into this one because social judgment theory is all about how people take things on based on their perspective and their experiences, and the message is either accepted or rejected based on their prior knowledge on the subject. Now, the common folk are probably going to look at this and say, "Wow, this is something really revealing because I didn't know this was a thing I didn't know this was a thing, or at least to that extent. To that extent." But as someone where they're a businessman and they know about this, and they perhaps work on offshore oil rigs, they might not take too much interest in this matter because since they're in an environment where there's already a natural occurrence, they might not bat an eye at this, which is a shame. But to each their own, as one would say. And I believe that the judgment theory is going to greatly affect how people will view this, depending on where their stance is in the matter. Lastly, I wanted to close on my question. My question would have to be summed up: ignorance or unaware? Why oil drilling is a big factor for the environment's non well being? That is my question that I have come to the conclusion is the best way to summarize everything I've talked about and researched today. And I would like to thank you for being here and listening to my presentation. Here are my sources. Thank you. Have a good one.